Pantry to Plate. I'm Joy Getz. I'm your host for today. And I am so excited to share with you one of my all-time favorite ways to eat fruits and vegetables. This is a beautiful salad in a jar spread. And today we are going to be making salads in these quart-size mason jars. And we have taken the Learning Kitchen on the road today. We are live from our Community Food Center, which is in Stone Mountain, Georgia. And I'm going to be joined today later with some of our fantastic food bank staff that run this fantastic location, and you'll meet them in just a second. So our first step, when we're making a salad, you got to have salad dressing, right? Of course, you have to have salad dressing. So we're going to start off by making a homemade salad dressing. I always make salad dressing from scratch once I figured out how to do it because it's the easiest thing ever. And it's a really good way to control, what goes into your salads, because let's face it, what you buy at the store, sometimes it's really healthy, but sometimes it's got a lot of ingredients you don't recognize. So we want to make sure that we're eating things that we recognize. So the other great thing about using mason jars to make salad dressings is that you've got these lovely little measuring marks on the side. So that's less dishes to clean up later. So whenever you're making a vinaigrette salad dressing, there's two main parts. You've got your oil, and today I've got some olive oil. So we'll go ahead and measure that in there. Alrighty, so that's about half of a cup. And then the other part is our acid. And the acid can be a citrus juice. It can be some kind of vinegar, balsamic, rice vinegar, apple cider, plain white vinegar, whatever you happen to have. So I'm just going to add that in there. And I like to do about equal parts acid to oil. You can do a little bit more oil if you prefer. The traditional French way is 3 parts oil to 1 part acid, but I think that's a little bit too oily for me. So I like to do it half and half, and that's how I prefer it. So today we use some lime juice. We're going to be making a Southwestern style salad dressing. So I'm just going to use a little pinch of salt here. You've got to have a little bit. But again, when you are making your salad dressing from scratch, you get to control how much of the salt goes in there. And then I also have some wonderful seasonings here. I've got some Mrs. Dash garlic and herb. I've got some chili powder, some cumin, and a little bit of black pepper. So we're going to throw that in there for flavoring. And one of my personal favorites, some fresh chopped cilantro. And I think that is really what gives it its authentic Mexican flavor. And then it's as simple as closing the jar and shaking it up. And there you go. If you don't have a mason jar at home, lots of other things you could use. You can use little Tupperware type of jars. You can use, one of my favorites actually is empty jam or jelly jars. You can reuse those for salad dressings. They're the perfect size. But this is what I had today, so this is what I used. Alrighty. So now that we've got our delicious Southwestern salad dressing recipe ready to go, we are going to make up a little salad. All right, so there is a method to the madness over here. You can see we've got quite a spread, and it's set up in the order that we want to put the vegetables into the jar. So we always start off with the salad dressing at the very bottom, right? And I put about 2 tablespoons in there. And the reason that we put the salad dressing on the bottom is because you ever gotten a salad and then you have leftovers and then you put it in the fridge and the next day you open it up and what happens to your lettuce? It's soggy and disgusting, right? So we're preventing that by putting the salad dressing at the bottom And then we'll be putting the harder vegetables, things that are really dense like cabbage, carrots, peppers. We're going to put those in the bottom. And so we're going to let those marinate in these wonderful flavors and soften them up a little bit. So I think right now, what do you think? We do a little bit of cabbage. I think that would be pretty. Alrighty, and then we'll do a little bit of red peppers. I'm loving how these colors are coming together. And now some carrots. And I will say that it's very easy at this point to go a little bit overboard and overfill your jar. So we are aiming to fill it up to about halfway because we have to leave room for our greens in just a little bit. So now we are going to add our softer vegetables. So we've got some fresh corn, which to me just nothing says Southwestern salad like some fresh corn. Alrighty, I'll do that. So that is our vegetables, and now we're going to add a little bit of a starchy food. So we've got some beautiful brown rice here. So this is a great way to use up leftover rice that you may have had from earlier in the week. I think it's always nice if you're going to have a salad with a lot of vegetables. Of course, that's a ton of fiber, but it's also important to include a little bit of carbohydrate and protein, and as well as some healthy fats into meals, and that helps to keep you fuller longer. All right. What else do we need in our Southwest salad? Oh, pinto beans for sure. Gotta have our pinto beans. I'm loving how this is coming together. All right, and a little bit of chicken. And this is just rotisserie chicken that we pulled off the bone and shredded yesterday. It's one of my favorite quick and easy ways to just have chicken ready to go. We've done the math actually, and those rotisserie chickens are about the same price as a uncooked chicken. So for the same price, you can have it already cooked and then take it home and, eat it like that, or you can pull it off the bone and turn it into whatever you want. All right, so there is our beautiful salad, and I think I'm going to use some shredded up romaine lettuce right here. We've got to be careful to not overfill it too much. Because one of the wonderful things about these salads is that, if you're going to take it for lunch the next day, you can just flip it over and shake it and then eat it right out of the jar. Also, if you want to put it on a plate and have a beautiful, lovely salad, you can do that as well. But I always recommend leaving a little bit of room at the top just in case you don't have one of those available. Very lastly, I'd like to point out we've got some toppings over here. We've got some feta cheese and some peanuts and walnuts. I recommend leaving those off until later. You can store those separately in a little jar or in a plastic baggie, and that's just so they don't get soggy with the lettuce if you have a little bit of water left on there from cleaning it. So with that in mind, this is our beautiful salad in a jar. I'd like to invite, thank you, Kristen. I'd like to invite Jan and Joey to come join me over here. Welcome, Jan and Joey.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
And do you all do meal prep ever at your home?
On Sundays, and usually I make something on Sunday that will take us to midweek, and then midweek to the weekend, I make something else.
Fantastic. So meal prep is something that you've already incorporated into your life, and how would you say that helps you during the week?
Well, it's much quicker in the morning. I don't have to plan my lunch. I just go in the fridge and get it. But also, I'm very conscious about eating specific foods. I don't like to eat a lot of processed foods, and I do want to make sure that every day I'm getting in quite a few fruits and vegetables. So I like to meal prep. Sometimes it's things like stir fry, or I'll do a veggie soup, those types of ideas. And then of course, as it gets warmer, I head into the salad range.
Awesome, fantastic.
Yeah, and I meal prep for the whole week also.
You do?
And I do a lot of protein. I do a lot of chicken and fish with vegetables.
With vegetables as well. Fantastic. So I'm excited to hear that you are already doing some meal prep, and hopefully this is just another tool to throw in your tool belt, and I hope that you enjoy. So I'm going to go over some of these other ingredients that we have here. I think I introduced most of these, but we also have this beautiful raspberry vinaigrette and then a homemade ranch dressing as well. And here you go. Actually, Jan, if you'd like to start first, just because we're a little short on space here.
Okay. So what I'd like to do today, I was thinking I wanted to do more of a somewhat sweet salad, but then I thought I want to make it sweet and savory. With all the wonderful choices on the table, I'm really excited. And at the same time, I'm going to make it a beautiful rainbow, a healthy rainbow of foods. So I'm going to start with just a little bit of the vinaigrette dressing. And this is homemade. So I'm just going to do a little bit. I normally, when I do salads, I actually dip mine. I put my salad dressing on the side. So this will be a little bit different for me. Mm-hmm. And then, as you pointed out, I'd like to do a little bit of color. I'm into textures, and I love the textures and the crunches in things, nuts and things like tortilla chips on Southwest salads. I think that it just makes it even more interesting and super delicious. So I'm going to put in some of these hard veggies.
Great. I love that idea about the tortilla chips, and I think it's a really good way to use up some of those little crumbles and crunchies at the bottom of the bag that you might not want to eat with salsa.
Right.
You can always put them on top of your salad, on top of like a chicken tortilla soup or something like that. Great way to use those up.
Okay, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put a little bit of cucumber. Again, just for that, this is a little bit more of what I would say a neutral taste to the salad. So I'll put a little bit of that in, and then I'm going to go for the fruits. As you pointed out, I normally would put on a non-meat protein like nuts or beans, but this time I'm going to hold those and wait and put them in just a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to go for a little bit of the fruits. And then this is when I would put these in. And since we're going to eat that today, as you had said, really reserve it so it doesn't get wilty. But since I know I'm going to be eating this delicious salad in just a couple of minutes, then I'm going to go ahead and add the cheese and nuts. So my choice today for a little bit of extra protein, I'm going to put some feta cheese in. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the walnuts. Sometimes depending on my salads, when I want a nut or a plant protein, I'll add sliced almonds or I add pecans. Oh,
that's another one of my favorites too.
Okay, so that, believe it or not, that's enough for me because I really tend to go very, very heavy on my greens. So and today I'd like to just go for the big vitamin K. I'm just going to go with spinach.
Great.
If I can stuff it in here. Okay, and
I love how your rainbow is really coming together.
I'm excited because I like it. Looks delicious, and I'm excited because I know it's going to be super nutritious. So this is mine, and then I'm just going to close it up and say, voila, here it is.
Gorgeous.
And here's my little salad.
I love it. Thank you so much, Jan.
You're welcome.
All right, Joey, it's your turn.
So mine may not be that beautiful, but I'll do mine a little different. I like to mix a little bit of sweet and sour in my salad. So I'm going to try, what is this?
That's the ranch. That's the homemade ranch.
I'm going to try the homemade ranch. It smells good too.
I think Kristen made that homemade earlier this week.
So I eat salads probably 5 or 6 days a week, whether for lunch or dinner. So I eat a lot of salad, but I can do anything from wild salad to just being simple. And today I'm just going to go kind of simple with a little bit of sweet and sour.
It looks very patriotic. You've got the red and the blue in there. But I have to ask you before we go any further, do you say pecan? like
so you put me on the spot now.
Or do you say pecan?
So I say pecan.
Okay, so you're pecan. Me too.
Yes.
I'm definitely pecan. But I'm also not from the South,
So yeah, my family says pecan, but I think living in Atlanta, my accent has changed a little bit. so I don't quite have the accent I used to have. So again, I'm going to eat mine soon. So I'm going to go ahead and put pecans, pecan, however you want to say it.
Those little crunchies
And
in there.
I always get a little protein, so I always add a little bit of chicken. So again, like Jan, I'm heavy on the lettuce or the greens. So I like a lot of greens and not so many toppings, but I like to mix it up. So I'm gonna put a little bit of both.
There you go. And that gives you a lot more texture and crunch too.
Yeah.
Look at that. That is beautiful.
So I need probably 4 more of these for my dinner to fill me up. But this is a start. So yeah, that's pretty.
Gorgeous. I love it. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining. And another fun thing that I've done before is have a little gathering with friends where maybe I'll bring 1 or 2 things. I know somebody else brings 1 or 2 things. And then we get a case of mason jars, and everybody can go around the table and meal prep their meals for the week. So we thought this would be a really fun idea to celebrate St. Patrick's Day with salads and greens coming into season. And thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Joy Getz with the Atlanta Community Food Bank. Thank you so much to Jan and Joey for being our special guests today. And we'll catch you next time in April.